Nobody likes waking up and feeling like crap. With Ghostbed, you don't need to worry about that. At Ghostbed, you'll find made in the USA mattresses, made with premium materials and backed by 20 to 25-year warranties. Plus, take 101 nights to break it in with their sleep trial. Listeners can get 40% off all products site-wide. You can get 40% off mattresses, adjustable bases, and bedding accessories, or get 50% off when you bundle a mattress with an adjustable base. Use promo code Lewis at ghostbed.com/Lewis for 40% off site-wide. Before we start the Rantcast, I just want to catch you up on the final 5 shows that I'm going to be doing here this year. As we wrap things up on this end of the tour year, 2023 coming to an end. And then, but this is really it, folks. This is I'm retiring from touring, if you hadn't heard. And so here's where I'm going to be if you want to catch me. December 8th, this Friday, right down the road from me in New Jersey, in Montclair, New Jersey, at the Wellmont Theater, a theater that I love to play. On December 9th at Bensalem, Pennsylvania, at the Parks Casino. December 13th, in Stuart, Florida. That's next week at the Lyric Theater. December 14th, I will be at the Mahaffey Center, the Mahaffey Theater, in St. Petersburg, Florida, the Duke Energy Center. Of all places, lots of energy. They're just pumping it out of there. And then on December 15th, the final show of the year in Jacksonville, Florida, at the Florida Theater. I hope you can join me because we're wrapping it up. Next year is the final run, beginning January and then head through December. And a little chunk of time I'll be doing shows in Europe, and we'll also be in Washington, finally playing the home of Too Many Fucks for Lou to perform his HBO special, the Kennedy Center, a place I've always wanted to play, and I do wish my folks were around to see that. They would have gotten a kick out of it, and so it's been a great run this year, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And please come join me because I think I've just been freed enough that I don't give a shit. I'm not that I've ever really seen given a shit when I'm up there, but I really am having a great time, even though and it certainly is tinged with a bit of sadness because each kind of week that passes that I'm out there, it just gets it's a little sadder to know that I'm letting go of what has been truly a joyous time in my life. And I want to thank you all again and thank all of you who've been coming out this year. It means the world to me. And this could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello there, and welcome to the 156th episode of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled Bye Bye George, Bye Bye Henry. And that's right, George Santos. Bye. Enough's enough. Unbelievable. Unbelievable we had to sit through this madness and watch this insanity. Really ludicrous. Just utterly ludicrous. The man is, it's just the word grifter. You rarely get to use it. And wow, who'd have thought you could grift your way into the Congress? Well, really, why should I be surprised? Why should any of us be surprised? The way things are going and the way things are, there's just really there's so little respect left for government on certain levels that people just don't seem to give a shit who they vote for or why they vote for them, or that there's and they were told. I mean, there was a paper there that was telling them that this guy was full of it. But that's the way it goes. But thank God, thank who that it took this long, seriously, to get him out of there. Really, that they just couldn't go. No, enough's enough. You lied. Just that's why you can't do this. It has to be investigated. Why? I'm sure I disagree with Jamie Raskin, who felt that it had to go through they had to really find a reason to that, for conviction, and that it goes against the Congress. But when a guy is just outright fucking lying, okay, to get elected, I mean, that doesn't they come into play at any point? When do we finally stop this bullshit and nonsense? Okay, stop making shit up. And if you're making shit up about yourself, then that's even worse. Okay? Well, rocket scientist Lewis Black speaking today. Come on. The guy is really pulled a fast one. And you just can't to let him sit there for that long without making it a public lesson, without it becoming something that is taught to kids in school. If we're not going to try to teach civics, at least teach, when someone is bullshitting that they don't get to be, when they don't have the goddamn necessary resume to be a congressperson, okay, to be someone elected through Congress, then no, you don't get to be elected there, especially if you're making shit up. And that's enough of me just running that by. And then goodbye, Henry Kissinger, who was a bane of my existence for quite a long time during the 60s. As I would say back then, how could you possibly be a Jew and a Nazi at the same time? But boy, he was something to behold. It was unbelievable. And won a Nobel Peace Prize while he was, for ending the war in Vietnam. Really? No, it's called We Left Vietnam. Didn't end the war. He was actually extending the war. But I don't want to get into the history of that because I'm sick and fucking. Go read a book. Read the history of it. Okay? Astonishing. And he went to a bunch of parties. Good for him. And now we got to listen to some, kind of like, let's praise him. No, I've got no time for praising him. All right? God, he just awful. Just awful. And I've got other things to talk about. The first off, the cake, the anger cake that you may have seen on Twitter, Instagram, where the TikTok, wherever it showed up, which was made by this a very apparently from the Cake Masters, one of those ones who was appearing on television and certainly knew how to bake a cake. It created this beautiful rendition of my character as a chocolate cake with this incredible Rice Krispie treats around it. It was really spectacular. And tasty and wonderful, except for the fondant, which was the red around its. I was going to say my head. It was that stuff is a little much for me, but it was really quite a treat. And I would like to thank her if I knew her name. And please let me know who you were. I can't tell you what a joy it was to see that in the dressing room in Saginaw at the theater there. Thank you. And I want to thank Regina Gelfer for painting just a lovely painting of my folks. Really, with them holding hands, I actually have one that I look at here when staring across the room, and it was quite touching and really quite nice and quite a gift. I can't. I thank you so much, Regina, and thank you, Michael, and thank you for sharing it with me and the wonderful note that you gave me. I cherish it. I just got to find a place to put it up, but it really is quite sweet and quite nice. And I've had folks during the time frame do paintings of me, and sometimes they're a little, it's always great to get them, but sometimes you kind of go, wow, if I look like that, we've got a problem. but this is really, I think, came out quite wonderfully and means a lot. And thanks for sharing it with me. And with the love that was behind it, it meant a lot. I'm getting a little too mushy for myself as as things wind down this year, and I certainly felt it in Charlottesville on stage. It's a theater that I've loved performing in, and I love that city, and this beautiful kind of a mall that you can walk up is really quite something. The whole area, even home of University of Virginia, and I was on stage, and I got misty, and I'm afraid that by the by the end of this retirement tour, I'll be just on stage. He wept for an hour and a half. We didn't really know what to do with him. He left the stage 3 times, and they tried to get him to straighten up, but he couldn't do it. And before I got to Charlottesville, I have to say I appeared in 2 small towns that were quite splendid. They're beautiful. They're idyllic, wonderful places that I'd never been to. Rocky Mount, Virginia. I thought I was going to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. When I first got the thing, I saw, ooh, look, Rocky Mount. God, I've always wanted to play Rocky Mount, North Carolina, but it was Rocky Mount, Virginia, near the Blue Ridge Mountains, and just a splendid scenery wandering into that little village, as I like to call it, and it was just beautiful there, and it was just a terrific place. And please don't go flooding in there and destroying what they have, because once folks find it, they're going to just do with it what they will. It is. If you've never been to the Blue Ridge Mountains, okay, or the Shenandoah Valley, just go there. Go there. I think it's one of the most beautiful places in the country, really. And even as a kid, when my parents took me down there, normally you go, "What the fuck are we doing here? This is bullshit." Even then, I was kind of captivated by it, and I didn't know the meaning of the word then, but that was what I felt. It's really, and the Blue Ridge Mountains are. Look, I've lived near the Rockies, and I've wandered through the Blue Ridge Mountains a few times during the pandemic. I went through there, and again, just to take a look, and because I love it so much. And but I'll tell you, I love the Blue Ridge Mountains more. They're kind of like they're friendly mountains, as opposed to the Rockies, which I've said time and again are mountains that just say, "Go fuck yourself. You think you're going to climb over me to get to the end of this country? Kiss my ass." But the Blue Ridge Mountains kind of welcome you and say, "Hey, settle here and enjoy the view." And so go. I would say go there if you get the chance. And then I went down to a place I did not know. Yeah, I did not know that Bristol, Tennessee was the birthplace of country music, and right next to the hotel we were at was the Birthplace of Country Music Museum, and it is. I had a couple of hours. I wish I had more. It was just. It was really an eye opener. I did not know the history of the area of how country music kind of really kind of got to the country initially, and it is worth a visit. If you love country music, it is truly worth the visit. It was a gentleman went down there, and he he arrived in the town. It's right there too. Interestingly enough, right on the Virginia-Tennessee border. I mean, literally, I was at the hotel and the museum were in Virginia. I performed in Tennessee, literally a block away. And the gentleman went down there and basically brought a recording equipment. And gathered the Carter family started there, and I forget, and Jimmy Rogers, I believe, was recorded there, and a number of others who were the ones who Stoneman was recorded there, and I literally had no concept of this, and that was the beginning of it. And these sessions that they performed or did their music at were were called the Bristol sessions, and the music was recorded in 1927 at what was called the Bristol sessions. It is kind of hillbilly music, music of Appalachia, music whose roots go back forever, and the music of the area, and the music that was created by the folks who were there, and the music that they brought with them that came over when folks came to the country and all, and it was Appalachian music and bluegrass, and that is what evolved into our present day country music, and it is an incredible exhibit that is there. And there was one or two about the women who contributed. They had a whole exhibit room there filled with the group of them, and that'll be touring the country. I asked where, but they weren't sure yet, and but it's coming around. And if it happens to come to your area, that alone is well worth your time. It was really an eye opener, and then I mean something there was in these rooms. It was kind of like it reminded me of the National Comedy Center, except in terms of music. You could wander into a room or pick up these headphones, and everywhere you turned, there was something to be learned. And one was just standing there watching gospel music being sung, and and Lord knows, as a Jew, it was really it was quite something. I've always enjoyed gospel music, but the kind of the ancient, not ancient, but the historic roots of it, you could hear there, and it was wonderful to hear Amazing Grace the way it was sung in that museum. Just go. Okay, it's that simple. I really am not doing it justice with my babbling here. I just really thought it would be. It's one of those places that you go, wow, this is incredible, and people need to see it. And also the town itself has grown because of it, and they have a festival each year in which they celebrate this music, and that too, I'm sure, is well worth going to. It was really quite a run this week, and really the territory is beautiful, and then down to Charlottesville, and then on to Morgantown, West Virginia, home of Don Knotts. For those of you, he's in front of the theater, a statue of him, and it was just a really a good week, and as it begins to dawn on me that I'm rolling toward the end, I do feel a certain freedom, and I really enjoy and really enjoying myself up there. So thank you all who came out. I appreciate it. Meanwhile, just a quick here's a wrap up. Liz Cheney's book's out. I won't be reading it because we've lived it. But she did come up with the fact that apparently Kevin McCarthy told her he went down to see Trump after January 6th. He went down to see him in Mar-a-Lago because he wasn't eating enough. And so he was, I don't know if he was down there spoon feeding him. I don't know if he was giving him an intravenous. I just think that's unbelievable. That he went down there for that. He was having trouble. His diet. Wow. Whew. And then he, today, 91 indictments and all that, as opposed to the Ghost of Christmas Past, he comes out with the fact that he basically says that's not true. He said, I was eating too much. So Kevin McCarthy went down there to give him a diet plan. So it's just, the mind boggles, and the shit that is coming out of Trump's mouth at this point is beyond belief, and that nobody steps up, to really, in terms of, both sides, I've got to say, stop it. This is you've stepped over the line. And if that is really if what you've been saying is what you plan to do, then then we're just going to have to stop you from running because that's not the way this shit works. Okay, and I'll go into that further at another time. But I've got to. You don't need to listen to me babble on. Let's finish it up with. Just a couple of things here. Here's one. There's a Florida man, Ray Belushi, not Belushi, was arrested 70 miles off the coast of Georgia while attempting to run across the Atlantic on a giant hamster wheel. How did we not get to see that? Did I miss it? Was there? This is from September, but I don't ever remember. That should have been seen. I'd love to see the giant hamster wheel. And he's running across the Atlantic, and they caught him in a giant hamster wheel. He was apprehended for threatening Coast Guard officers with a bomb. The charge he denied. Why would you threaten the Coast Guard? But they wouldn't let him use his hamster wheel. I mean, that's amazing. If he invented a hamster wheel that could get across water, wow. I'm just, who'd have thought? I just never would have figured that's a way to get across the Atlantic, or certainly run from Johnny Law. And then finally, as the psychosis really is growing, Mississippi is saying that, if you have religious reasons not to vaccinate your children, then feel free not to. Well, that's going to create, apparently, it turns out that if it was 500 of the kids who were kind of allergic to these things, now it's going to expand into a number that would put Mississippi in the position that that it will spread. That many of these measles, mumps, I guess, and polio will be back. Come on, fucking stop it. Okay, what do we got to go back and then so that a bunch of kids can end up being sick again? When we've got the goddamn when we've knocked it out, what is the matter with people? But this one kind of is the topper. Most U.S. dog owners are now wary of vaccinating their pets for a host of conditions, including against rabies. That'll be good. Arr, arr, arr. That's going to be just great. Some 53% of the owners have concerns. I can't believe that many owners do, but what do I know anymore? This country's out of its fucking mind. 53% have concerns about the shot's safety and efficacy, according to a new study. 37% worry they could make their dogs autistic. Are you kidding me? An autistic dog? Seriously? You give the dog a shot for rabies and all of a sudden he's going, what? What is an autistic dog? How would you know your dog's autistic? Stop it. Good God. This, however, is a theory without scientific merit in pooches or humans. Okay? Dogs don't get, it's not proven. Got it? It's not proven. Stop it. And I'll stop it right now. And I hope that you enjoy this week's Rantcast. And I'll be back next week. We'll get on to whatever nonsense is going. And it will be, and even though I didn't talk about a lot of news this week, I can guarantee you next week it'll be the same fucking thing. Because that's what we do now. Are we going to find out any information this week about inflation? No. About this? No. About that? No. About what we need to know? No. So enjoy the rants of your fellow human beings. It was a pleasure to read them as always. It was a pleasure to spend time with you, and I look forward to seeing you somewhere down the road. Okay, because this is it, folks. There's a lot of stuff that I hate in this world. It's why you listen to this podcast, right? I mean, maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but I know one thing that everybody hates, and that's bad sleep. Maybe you're lying in bed just trying to get to sleep in the first place, or maybe you're a hot sleeper, so you're waking up dripping in sweat. That's why I'm glad to partner with Ghostbed. They're a family-owned company, and they've been around for 20 years, so they know what they're doing. They don't just slap together mattresses like some of these other companies. They actually take the time to make a high-quality, made-in-the-USA mattress that's going to help you get the sleep you deserve. And it's going to last. If you're a hot sleeper, you'll want to check out the Ghostbed Luxe, which is dubbed the coolest mattress in the world. Try out your mattress for 101 nights with their sleep trial. Shipping is free, and most orders ship within 24 hours of checking out. Listeners can get 40% off all products site-wide. You can get 40% off mattresses, adjustable bases, and bedding accessories. Or get 50% off when you bundle a mattress with an adjustable base. Use promo code LEWIS at ghostbed.com/Lewis for 40% off site-wide. Limited time only. Scotty Ray is pissed, and rightfully so. Hello, Lou. I've been a fan of your work for 20 years, thank you, but this is the first opportunity I've had to see you live here in Biloxi. I love the Rantcast, and I traveled tonight to the show from Pensacola, Florida. That's right, Florida. What, do you ask, am I so fucking pissed off about? Well, could it be that the other day I was in a local bookstore in my town, and there is now an actual fucking section that is entitled Banned Books? That's right, Lewis. There's a section where the bookstore owners have all the books that piece of shit DeSantis and his fucking culture warriors have banned from my children's school. Or maybe it is the fact that the Escambia County School District, where Pensacola is located, passed a regulation this year that teachers may no longer use nicknames to address students by anything other than their birth names, without a written fucking form filled out and sent into the school, allowing it by their parents. That's right. If some poor bastard of a kid got named for their paternal grandfather, Aloysius, the kid cannot ask the teacher to call him Al unless his parents provide written approval. Now, of course, any idiot can see this for what it is, a ploy to ignore and potentially list and target the LGBTQ population. Yet another way my state is targeting this community. Or it could be that my son informed me that the university he goes to had to change his scheduled, this is spectacular, field trip to the Civil Rights and Lynching Museum in Montgomery, Alabama, to go to the World War II Museum in New Orleans, Louisiana, because of changing policies. Fuck me. These are all good museums, but this DeSantis-fueled bullshit has got to stop. I could go on for decades about that last paragraph. Or maybe it could be the fact that I wake up every fucking morning to the fact that Matt Gaetz is my elected representative to the United States fucking Congress. Jesus Christ, Lewis. He won in a primary landslide against a moderate Republican candidate, and then again in the general election for the fourth fucking time. This means people in my county sent him to Congress, watched his antics, such as casting the single fucking no vote in 2007 against, get this, human trafficking. And then they sent him back 3 more times. Let me say this again. Matt fucking Gaetz is charged with representing me in Congress. I have to live with that. My friends in other states take every opportunity to ask me, what the actual fuck, Scotty? My only response is to bow my head in abject and complete shame. I walk around and look at people I know, my neighbors, locals at the bar. I look at them and think, was it you? Did you really vote for this ignorant, self-aggrandizing troglodyte whose only apparent goals in life are to fuck underage girls and plunge our legislative branch into a deeper cesspool than already existed? 7 in 10 voters in my county voted for this prick. If I think about it too long, I just want to jam sharp objects into my eyes. Alas, those are not the things that bring me to Rant tonight. Really? What really chaps my ass is that growing number of unbelievable fucking twat waffles that think it is okay to use your fucking cell phones in public on fucking speaker mode. How is it in a modern society these assholes are on the rise? There are fucking countless headphones, earbuds over the ear, in the ear, earmuff style, noise canceling, fucking waterproof ones. Wired and wireless versions of listening devices that would obviate the need for me to listen to your goddamn YouTube videos of some shitty singer posted their version of the 8-minute anthem American Pie while I'm trying to eat dinner at a restaurant. They walk around in my grocery stores, public bathrooms, waiting rooms, just talking and yelling away with their whole fucking family on a conference call where we can all hear how little Johnny shit their pants again, all the while I just want to take the phone and slam it on the ground and crush it because these people do not fucking deserve the privilege of modern technology if they cannot master the accepted fucking rules of decent society. These people are allowed to own guns, drive cars, and fucking vote, which is why I guess fucking twat waffles like Gates continue to get elected. Stop the madness. No one wants to listen to your bullshit. Thank you, Lou, for giving me this outlet. My pleasure. Thank you, Scotty Ray. Wow. Wow. I love the fact that you had all that to yell about and then found something more to yell about. But at least they're a distraction. That's, at least the others are horrifying. Thanks. A rant from Jeff M. Lewis, I've been watching your rants for a while now, but that's not important. I want to share mine and hope you find it worthy of your audience, and obviously I do, Jeff. I'm reading it. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and that means I need insulin. I'm currently not employed, but thankfully my wife is, and so we use her insurance. I'm glad we have insurance. I realize there are many in a worse predicament than I am. Anyway, this new insurance allows me to take advantage of some programs to lower my copays to the insulin to $0. Awesome, right? Only it's a 90-day prescription. This is the challenge. One of my insulins, the pharmacy will only fill a 25-day prescription because their system won't talk correctly to the insurance. They don't want to give me too much insulin. I mean, that's a fucking laugh. Let's do the math. The prescription is for 20 units in the morning and 20 units in the late afternoon. 40 units a day. If you multiply 40 by 90 days, you get 3,600. So in 90 days, I need 3,600 units. Each vial contains 1,000 units. You can never get every single unit out of the vial. This might suggest you get 4 vials for the prescription. But no, I get 3 vials. That's 400 units short, all because the pharmacy can't talk to the insurance properly. I'm working on some other options, but basically insurance and medicine are a pain in the ass. Hope that wasn't too long. It was fine. And I hope you can use it. I did. If you need me to edit it, nope. Keep doing what you're doing. Well, I got no choice. I love reading what people have to bitch about. And you've got a right to, it's incredible. And it was funny because you're yelling and then someone else just yelled about it and someone else yelled about a similar issue before that. It's kind of amazing how they'll come in clusters, Jeff, and I'm glad you shared it with us, and I hope you've figured out how to get the proper amount of the drug you need. It's insulin, for fuck's sake, as you've kind of said. I'm saying it for you. Michelle Capel is ranting for us about her work as a massage therapist. I've been in this career for 18 years. If I'm asked by another male client to just touch it, his dick, I will lose my shit. In the immortal words of Dr. Seuss, there are no happy endings or beginnings to be found. I will not do butts or fronts, even if my store may close down. If you jizz on my sheets, I will throw them away. No matter how much you ask, I will not touch your dick. Not today. Hand job, blow job, Your wife says it's fine? I'm pretty, have big boobs, yes? But they're mine. Michelle, I have money, a new truck, a house to call home. If you touch it, you will be mine. I will be yours and yours alone. But I say, no, sir, not today. In the sunshine, winter, or afternoon, I will not touch your dick. Your words and actions do not make me swoon. The end. I love that. Thank you again ever so much. No, thank you, Michelle. God, you gave a run at Dr. Seuss, and that's splendid, and really nails all. Oh God, my I think private clients is the way to go. And get a resume from somebody before you touch them. And that's all I get. Wow, I can't believe these idiots. But Kreps has got something to rant about, and rightfully so. Hi, Lewis. I'm currently writing this pre-show. About 30 minutes till doors open for tonight's show in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm sorry I didn't get to this earlier, but I'm a little behind, David. I have a rant about compassion. When has it become acceptable by any and or all types of companies to decide they can show little to no flexibility to people who have a disability and then act like they can miraculously cure it overnight? It's like asking the mute to speak and the handless to grow a hand. It's fucking ridiculous. And they don't even take the time to level the playing field for them. Then they keep poking and prodding us with analysis and and waiting for you to mess up due to your disability, to show you the door, even while you work your ass off for them. Have some compassion, folks, as that's what happened to me recently. In less than 24 hours ago, I wasn't coming to your show because I was supposed to be working until I was rudely let go. So screw people without compassion. Well, I can understand why you're pissed, and I'm sorry they let you go because of a disability, and I'm sure there's a way you might be able to sue them, but I'm certainly not a lawyer. I barely understand anything written in legalese, David, and I hope that since then you've found other work and at least or spent some time with people who have compassion. You can't expect it from a company. It's unbelievable. It's extraordinary. And thank you. Dave Miller with a very, very short, you'll hear. I wouldn't call it a rant. It's what gets people to rant. Definition of woke. The Gospel of Matthew 7:12. In everything, do unto others what you would have them do to you. Well, I throw that out there for you, David, and we'll see what the reaction is. I really don't know what the definition of woke is, and I don't think it was necessary for us to get into a discussion of woke as a country because a lot of people began to use it for reasons that is criticism, which had nothing to do with, we should do this because it's really the right thing to do. They should have not given it a name. And I don't know who did. I only know that there's a madness, a certain level of madness with those who are woke. So, and not the ones who live by the Gospel of Matthew. Thanks. I'm interested to see what folks have to say. Michelle Zimmerman is pissed, and rightfully so. What the fuck is up with the nitwits who think it is cool to have a vehicle that you can hear from miles away? I mean, really? What the fuckity fuck? Do you have such a fucking small penis that you have to make up for it with noise pollution? Never in my 54 fucking years on this motherfucking planet have I ever heard more loud cars than in good old Spokane. Spokane, I am sorry. Than in good old Spokane. What a bunch of idiots. I've seen BMWs with this ear-piercing muffler. Add it on. Hey, you know what could make your Nimrod asshole car amazing? If I didn't hear it again. Well done, Michelle. Well done. Sorry, Spokane. I just ran into that at the end of the sentence and went, Spokane, Kane. I'm the idiot. You got a town. I enjoyed being there. Thanks for coming out. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.